There's a StreamYard feature I glossed over in previous videos, but after a closer look, it actually presents a significant shift in how we use the platform. Comparatively, Zoom has a personal meeting room or ID, which does not change. And then Ecamm Live has static interview links for remote guest interviews. Riverside FM Studios has this static links also for guest recordings. StreamYard has added Reusable Studios, which mimics the same thing, eliminating the need to have multiple links for every episode of your live show or podcast recordings. This is a handy feature addition that has impact on several content workflows. I'll share how to leverage it and show some examples in the full video. So here we are on StreamYard looking at the dashboard. And one of the things you'll notice right here in the middle is that Reusable Studios is now a thing. This is where streams and recordings live. This is what we're used to. This section has been added, and all I've done is simply go here to the plus sign, click it, give my Reusable Studio a name, and that is how it all works. There's a reason why I'm not creating a studio for all of my shows, because once you get the feel of how this actually is supposed to work, you really only need one. And that is the one that I have here, and it's going to be called How It All Works. This enables me to click these three dots, invite guests. I can edit it. I can delete the recordings. I can even delete the studio. But if I go to invite guests, that gives me the link here. And this is where I want to share that the workflow has changed drastically. Every time we were doing these live shows or podcast recordings, we always had to create a new link. Every one of these recordings here underneath, every studio that we created had a brand new link. And so here in this Reusable Studio segment, as the name suggests, the studio is reusable, so the link does not change. So what that means is I can actually take this link that's here, copy it, go over to my Rebrandly, paste this link in here as a branded link, and create my branded link, which would be kirkarnugent.live/guestpod. So now if I create that link, it will have that set up and I can use it in Calendly, which is where I do my guests for my live shows. You can see here, HIW live show guest, and you can see here, kirkarnugent.live/guestpod. Once I save that change, then when somebody goes to my booking page, when the appointment is created on their calendar for us to be able to do the show, they will have that link in the location field, and that's where they'll be prompted to join for the live show. This is what I would like to call one of those workflow changes that actually is one of the reasons why I went in search of other platforms to begin with. Riverside FM actually was one of the platforms I was looking at to replace StreamYard, because I wanted to be able to have a static link for me to record with guests no matter where they are. Didn't want to have to keep on having to go to StreamYard, copy the new link, put it in Calendly, and have that manual process. This enables me to have a bit of an automated piece to my process, and that's actually more what I'd like. So now we're inside that Reusable Studio, and you can just see at the top, it's called How It All Works. And I'm going to actually change my brand to Financial Legacy. Brand is where all your assets are, and I have several brands here. My brands house essentially all my graphics, my logos, the overlays, the color palette, and that's essentially what your branding is. And so you can see here, there's several things that have already been defined. And we're just gonna go and do a mock live show. So here I'm putting this graphic up. I have an intro video already identified. I have an outro video already identified. And in fact, I'm gonna change this intro video and use a different one, this 59-second one, so that we're not waiting so long. So we have a 59-second intro, 60-second outro. Now we go up here to where it says create. this is another shift in the process for using StreamYard. Normally, we would have created our live stream or recording from the main dashboard, right? We'd have created that on this page here by simply going and clicking one of these options, live stream or recording or on air. We would have done that from there. But now with this reusable studio, we just enter the studio, come back into the studio now, and here we have the create button for us. So I click this and this looks familiar, live stream and recording from this particular studio. So you can see there's some minor tweaks here in terms of how we would use the platform. So I'm going to create a live stream in this instance. I'm going to go to a page that I'm testing, right? We'll copy that, put that in there as well. We'll make this unlisted, and I'm not going to schedule it for later, but you could, and you would simply check that box to say schedule for later, put the date and time that you'd want, upload your thumbnail, and it would be ready to go for later. And I have it set to go live right now, which I'm going to do by clicking on the go live button right here in the top right. Click on go live and it'll ask me, do you want to do local recordings? I don't want to do that this time. I do have my intro video already set to go. I can remove that right here if I want to, but I actually want it to play. So I'm going to hit go live and play the intro. So that is playing. I have that song or the music for the countdown or the intro muted, but this is a client project. This is their intro video. Just a few seconds that this will play. I am going to set myself up. I'm going to add myself to the screen here, put an overlay on so that when this video is done, you'll see me live. Go back over to here, click on view on YouTube. That brings up the video on YouTube, and you can see that that is live right now. This is an unlisted video, but you can see what that looks like. You know, it's playing through testing Reusable Studios, and you can see that it's unlisted. Now, back here in StreamYard, we can see how much is left in the video. And this is, again, part of that workflow thing where you'll just be able to look at the screen and know, okay, boom, we're about to go live, and here we go. And boom, I'm live. Hey, we're testing out Reusable Studios here in the Financial Legacy Conference brand, and we're excited to get this going. So with that said, now I can go back over to YouTube, click back on live, and you can see that I am live here on the platform, and I can end the stream by clicking on end stream here in the top. It's going to play outro with credits. Boom. It's playing the outro with credits. I'm letting it end because I want you to see this, again, is a major shift in how we have used this platform in the past. Because before, whenever you ended a broadcast, you had to come out of it in order to go live again. You had to go into and create another studio in order to go live again. Whereas with these reusable studios, the workflow and the processes have changed drastically because now I can actually end the broadcast. And I don't have to necessarily play an outro video, but I could end the broadcast and then go live immediately again with my guests to, let's say, a mastermind group or to a private group or to an RTMP destination where I have people that are waiting for me. It just opens up a myriad of options because I can now reuse the studio as the name suggests. So the intro video has completed. I should say outro video has completed. The stream has ended. And we are back to normal, right? I took the overlay off, and you now see that it has here create. I can go back and go live immediately right now, right from here. That's a game changer, y'all. I can come in here, click on record and say test record, right? Test record session. I can change the brand to my default and, you know, add my overlay right to the bottom, record, no intro video because it's a different brand, right? The brands hold the assets, the brands hold the settings. So your brand is where you would change that workflow. I can hit record. Once this is recording, I can say, hey guys, we're recording and testing yet again. And I can stop and cancel the recording. I can restart the recording. I can even pause the recording, but then here I'm just gonna end the recording. And once that's ended, guess what? I'm ready to go again. I can go here, I can go to live stream, I can restream to a Instagram platform, change my profile to vertical. This reusable studio, you can now do all of those features and functions right here from the studio, not having to go back to the dashboard for any purpose, really. You could just come into your reusable studio and you do everything right from here. I do want to show you something, however, is that if I go back to the dashboard and refresh it, you'll see that the reusable studio now has four here. Okay, what does that mean? These are all the things that I've done in this studio. So I have the 2 test ones that I did prior to our video today. Then I have the 2 that we just did just now, test and reusable studios. And I have this here, and I can actually take those, do what I need to with them. So you have a library of things that is specific just to the content you've recorded or the live shows you've done with this reusable studio. So you have your library contents and you have all the things that are there, but in your library, you also have your reusable studios as a subfolder. And in that subfolder, you have all the content that you've done in that studio. That's a game changer. And again, I want to make mention that your brand, your branding, and your brands, I should say, whatever you have set up as brands in the system will allow you to kind of flip between the different shows as you are inside your reusable studio. The brand area in StreamYard is where you keep all your assets, as I was mentioning earlier, your show intro, your show outro, bumpers for scene changes, graphics, overlays, and lower thirds. But it's had some changes recently. And in this video right here, I walk through brand combinations from StreamYard. It's a feature addition that I think is paving the way for them to add scenes. Like, imagine that, y'all, scenes from StreamYard. Click right here to watch, and I'll see you over there. Grace and peace, fam.